Guess what, Janvi? It's Tuesday, and no, I'm not the geek you're looking for, but you'll just have to deal with that. Andrew and I are flipping our uploads this week, so I'm gonna be doing today Tuesday, and Andrew's gonna be doing Friday, so don't worry, you'll get both of us, it's just you get to have me sooner! Since I'm doing my video today, and it's a little bit sooner than I was expecting, my mind is kind of set on one specific thing, and that's making my own cosplay for Colette from Tales of Symhonia. So today is your Cosplay 101 lessons on things you need to know or might want to think about if you're planning on making your own cosplay, as well as some of the supplies you'll need. The title of this video is obviously going to be a lot shorter than what I just said. So to start, choosing your cosplay. Be reasonable. I mean, it's great to be optimistic and think you can create anything and choose something that is simple and you can create or alter easily, especially if you have no sewing skills whatsoever. Like me! Now this kind of goes hand in hand with choosing your cosplay, but are you going to start from scratch and pretty much make it up as you go along, or are you going to buy a pattern and alter that? I did the second and used this coat dress's pattern as a base for my Colette dress. Next are the supplies that you're going to need for your creation. You're going to need
scissors, pins, fabric marking pencils, seam ripper, tape measure, needle and thread, paper and pencil, fabric, your pattern, sewing machine, time, patience, and imagination.
Now some of these things are obvious supplies that you're going to need, but for my next tip, I definitely want to focus on the importance of paper and your pencil. That would be planning. This goes along with taking your time. Think things through before you cut or sew things. Especially cut things, because you can't put fabric back on. It just doesn't work. Now, mistakes will be made. That's a given. It's all part of the experience in learning how to do this. But that's also why you have things like your seam ripper to help you undo those mistakes. However, some mistakes can't be undone, and you'd like to be able to catch them, and that's why you write them down and try to figure it out before you go and do it, and possibly ruin your fabric and have to start all over. As you can see, I did that a lot. Just writing things down and trying to figure it out before I actually went ahead and did it. Now, when it comes to your pattern, if you're using a base, know what you will and will not need from it. For example, this dress is a lot longer than Colette's dress, so I altered that before I even cut and shortened it, which saved me a lot of fabric. As well as this pattern called for things like pockets and the hat, which I didn't need, so that saved me even more fabric and time cutting pointless things of the pattern. My next thing really isn't a step, but it's more of a tip. But don't be afraid to
ask for help.
A really great place to go looking for cosplaying tips is actually DeviantArt. There are plenty of cosplay how-to groups in DeviantArt, and people post their works all the time, whether it's how to make boots, certain costume pieces, or even props. Likeliness is, whatever you're working on, somebody else probably already did and probably posted on DeviantArt. And if not, similarities are definitely there, and you can take what you need and, again, alter it as you need it. Ask other cosplayers, rather it's asking somebody on DeviantArt how they did something, or even go find some real people. They do exist. Oh God, not real people. It's scary out there. I, for one, have met many cosplayers through my anime club and other groups I was in while in London. So now I have a big group of people that if I get stuck with things like how to attach something on my cosplay, how to make a certain prop, or even wig care, I have people I know I can ask that and they'll be able to help me out or at least give me some ideas of how to get through the problem. Convention panels are also a great thing to go to if you're getting started in making cosplay. Bigger conventions like Anime North or Fan Expo have them all the time. They're rather Q&As, or they're somebody just giving a whole bunch of ideas of different ways that you can make certain cosplay things. Now, the thing about this though is that you're going to want to take some kind of writing utensil and paper or a camcorder, because they can cover so much that you'd never think you might need, but you'll never remember it all once a week goes by. Now, trial and error is your next tip. I know it's not really a tip, but still. Panels, groups, how-tos, asking people, they can only get you so far, so after a while, you're gonna have to just try and see what does or doesn't work. Now, this happened a lot when it came to me making Colette's cape, as well as attaching the cuffs to her sleeves, because it turned out the way that her cuffs are attached are kind of actually upside down to how you would do normal cuffs, so it was trial and error trying to figure out how to get the little bastards to stay on. And lastly, just do it! I've been working on this cosplay for technically 2 years. Now, that isn't 2 years straight of doing it, probably more like 3 or 4 months if you crammed it all together, but but it is a case of I'm only gonna get her done if I actually work on it. Staring at it won't make it put itself together any faster. This isn't Beauty and the Beast castle, inanimate objects don't come together and start cleaning up the place for you. You're gonna have to do it to get it done. Oh, and one last piece of advice, and I think I mentioned this in my do's and don'ts of conning, but don't try to finish it the night before a convention. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you can't get a costume piece done in time and leaving it to the next convention or even next year. I tried to get this baby done before Fan Expo. Thank God I ran out of material actually, or else I would have still worked on it. And I noticed as I went to continue to work on this a couple weeks ago, one area specifically, you could tell where I was getting tired because it looked like garbage. I was rushing it and trying to get it done without taking the time and effort to make it look good. So if the clock strikes midnight and you're not done this thing yet, put it away. You're gonna be so much happier that you looked at this thing in fresh daylight, whereas if you put it together really hastily, took it out to a convention, had pieces fall off, or noticed things were just bad looking, and then you'd hate it for the rest of the day. So here it is, my Colette cosplay. And the award for the biggest troll goes to... No, but if you're gonna want to see my Colette cosplay in all of its glory, you're gonna have to wait until the Forest City Comic-Con in October, where this baby is gonna be having her big debut. So thanks so much for watching my Cosplay 101 tricks, lessons, and tips, whatever I choose to actually call this video. Be sure to check it on Tuesdays when Andrew uploads and Fridays when I, Sarah, upload. So until then, you guys, geek on!